Hi Virgos, how we doing today? Welcome back. I'm Jess on Tarot. Jess, hi. Nice to meet you. All right, if you're new, welcome in. All right, we're going to be doing our end of June into July. All right. We'll be using the Prairie Majesty Oracle. What answer are we going to be asking ourselves this month? All right. This is going to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Take what resonates, leave the rest. You guys know how it works. There's a car upside down. All right. What do we have for the beautiful Virgos? What is it they need to hear? Okay. We have take over. Is it time to reclaim and reinvent the structures of my life? The black-footed ferrets. So maybe we need to take over parts of our lives where we feel like we're not quite aligned with, and maybe reinvent the things that we need to align with, you know? And then we have the moon. Definitely trusting our intuition, and it might be a little fearsome. So anytime I get this card, I read for the book, so bear with me. Eternal, introverted, reflective, hidden, subconscious, contemplative, fluid, gentle, soft, phases, cycles. Releasing, going with the flow, dreamy or emotional. So, taking over your life and reclaiming and reinventing your life is kind of all of those things. You know, you have to break down and contemplate who you are, what you want, how you want to do that. You have to release things. Everything goes in cycles. It goes in phases. It doesn't just happen automatically. And then, are you ready to be seen with soar on the bottom? And I feel like that allows you to actually be seen, heard, felt, and it allows you to fly when you kind of take over who you are and you go through these phases, you go through these cycles, you contemplate who you are, you reinvent yourself. So I definitely like it. So, and it's kind of moving with the tides too. So I feel like you're getting like a balance with the emotions. And with soar, it's also the beautiful bald eagle right here, but it's like getting a bird's eye view of everything that's going on around you. All right, let's see what we got going on for tarot. All right. I always get blinded by the light, but I feel like maybe you're focused on the negative aspects of life, and that's kind of what you're creating into your life. That magician and that devil there. Oh, when really you need to be the emperor and take a hold of your life. All right, what do we have for the beautiful Virgos coming out? We have the moon yet again. Unknown, mysterious, fearful, but trying to have some faith to push through. I feel like this is about trusting and where you're supposed to be going. All right. The moon can be a very scary thing when you don't know, or things are unseen. They're quite unclear, and Spirit's telling you got to have a little faith in that. You know, the moon is also lighting your path. Oh, all right. We got the Fool popping out with the Three of Swords. It's not going to resonate with everybody, but we're going to take it anyway. So it's not so much taking a leap of faith into heartbreak, but maybe taking a little bit lighter approach to maybe the way you deal with grief or you deal with heartache and pain. Okay. And reinventing yourself is not an easy process. It is a very painful process. And if it's something that you're choosing to do, there are, you know, with the Hierophant here, also, there are therapists, there are people you can talk to, counselors, guides, you know, that's more in that realm of profession that can help you navigate that type of life. So if that If you're kind of fearing being able to talk to somebody, you shouldn't. You should really take that leap into that realm to help heal whatever this Three of Swords is for you. So, and there's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist. There's nothing wrong with talking to a counselor or anything along that lines. But I feel like when you start to move in that path and you start to reinvent your life and you start to reclaim yourself back, it does give you a sense of independence and stability within your life and a bit of confidence also, and pushes you into more of a sense of being happy, being fruitful, you know, having a happier home life maybe. So we definitely have the Knight of Swords. So I feel like the universe is telling you to keep moving in that direction. You know, maybe be a little bit less guarded and continue to follow that path that you're wanting to go on. I don't know why I feel like shuffling, but so we're going with it. We got the Ten of Pentacles coming out with the Nine of Swords in reverse. And I really, really, honestly, I love that. I feel like the more you embrace that unknown or you kind of push past that fear and, you know, maybe you are getting some higher guidance with that. And that's, like I said, always a good thing. It puts you in a financially, not just financially, but a very stubborn, I can't talk, a very, stable, there's the word I'm looking for, a very stable mindset where you're not really focused so much on the anxiety of situations anymore, you know, and it definitely puts you in some kind of healing process. So I really kind of like that. So definitely reclaiming and reinventing who you are. You might have a little fear about asking for help, but I feel like it's telling you to ask for help. You know, there's all kinds of programs out there that can help you. You know, with the Fool and that Three of Swords, we have the Four of Wands with the Five of Cups. You know, pushing forward through that, I feel like is a celebration and kind of push you past those emotions or those regrets that you've been holding on to for so long. All right, give me two more. We have the Seven of Cups coming out. So maybe some opportunities to deal with. Ooh. And the Six of Wands. I really like that. We have the Seven of Swords and the King of Pentacles with the Empress. And I love this. So I feel like this is about you strategizing on how to navigate your own stability. It doesn't have to be focused on money. Like, whether it's emotional stability, whether it's financial for you, or whether it's emotional stability. It's definitely, I don't feel like it's negative. I feel like it's more about you strategizing on how to build that. How do I drive my own ship into that kind of abundance or stability for me? And I feel like this is more about emotional and security stability than financials. You know, especially with the Empress here. It's about taking care of yourself and loving yourself first. I'm being nosy, so give me a minute. Oh, I like it. I feel like whatever this is, though, it's been some kind of painful ending that you're having to walk away from. And I feel like that painful ending is probably more like an ego death versus like a mass breakup. Take that how it resonates. Okay. We have the Seven of Cups with the Six of Wands. And I really love this because there is so many opportunities for you to be successful. So many opportunities. You really just have to take that step. And that's up to you. So it's like you take that minute to really soar above the clouds. You get a view, grand-eyed view, bird's-eye view of everything that's kind of going on. It's like taking a step back, seeing the bigger picture. You know, what is it that I can reinvent in my life? What is it that I need to reclaim to be me? What is it that I'm not quite seeing with that moon energy here? You know, allowing those fears to kind of release, getting some help. So maybe you're getting something from a higher institution. Like I said, therapy is always an option. Counselors, guides, you know, there's endless possibilities, but taking that first step into healing that heartbreak, you know, puts you in alignment with feeling a little bit more stable, a little happier, you know, and definitely growing past getting out of your own head and getting out of your own way. So you can really start to enjoy life and stop focusing on all those regrets that you've been having. And that opens the doors for successful ventures. I feel like that was a whole lot. So take that how it resonates, Virgo, but it is definitely beautiful. All right. Let's see what we got from our Feral Tarot deck, Oracle deck. All right. What is it they have to tell you? Ooh. Storm Tamer. All right. Anything else, guys? All right. A lot of ancient roots. I feel like we're healing some traumas. All right. We have Storm Tamer. Your relationship with chaos is evolving. You don't just survive storms, you alchemize them, and then you turn them into opportunities for transformation. And I love that. So it's kind of like when you're kind of in the midst of the storm, allow that energy to fuel your fire, to rebuild something, to change the trajectory in your life. We have ancient roots. Your soul chose this lineage for a reason. You carry not just their pain, but the power to transmute it. You know, what is it you can transmute? What power can you use for that? Trailblazer. When you walk into the unknown, you teach others what's possible. Will you be brave enough to be the first? I feel like that's kind of breaking some generational curses right here. Ooh, that's deep stuff. Love is not a myth. The heartbreak just made it easier to spot what isn't it. Don't let the past wounds rewrite the truth. So whatever wounds you have, don't stop that from loving you. And then on the bottom, we have another bird card. Blessed by fire. Looking back, you can acknowledge that every trial was by intention. You are not cursed. You are blessed by fire. I feel like it's telling you that like you're starting to learn from your lessons. It's kind of like a phoenix rising. So you may get knocked down, but you're always going to get back up. So I feel like whatever storm you've gone through might be something that is karma kind of replaying itself out. So you can either keep repeating that cycle or you can break through it. But you're going to have to learn how to really love yourself in the process. And that's kind of where you get that Phoenix rising energy. All right, guys, that's what I have for you. I hope it resonates. Not, you guys have a good day. Thanks, guys.